In a recent video, I'm going to set a goal of $2,000 contributed to my Schwab 2020 Roth IRA in order to purchase more index fund shares. That is a pretty lofty goal, but I believe it's achievable. Oh yeah, I'm able to put $2,000 to my Roth this month because I don't have a mortgage payment. I refinanced. This is that story. A couple months ago, around mid-November, I shared with you a mortgage payoff tracker that I had come across and was really excited about. And a lot of you, after watching that video, suggested I look into refinancing my mortgage loan for a lower interest rate. That planted a seed. I had looked into refinancing before, but at the time it didn't seem like it was a worthy venture. But after reading so many comments suggesting this, I started to gather some info. I had called my mortgage company for another reason, and while on the phone with that young lady, she suggested I speak with someone about a refinance. I told her I was already looking into it, so I wouldn't mind getting some information about it. So after settling the one matter, I was transferred over to Kat and had a great conversation with her. I don't know if I can refer her, but if I can, I'll leave her information down in the description. She was a pleasure. She answered all of my questions. She gave me so much information. And she really helped me feel comfortable with moving forward with starting this refinance process. Before I move on, I want you to know how I was feeling. The mortgage loan is a big loan. It involves my home, which I love and I plan to keep for a while. It's a really long-term loan and I didn't want to make the wrong decision. So I'm encouraging you, if you're on the fence about refinancing, do your own research. And don't let something as big as this being a mortgage loan to deter you from at least getting the information. Dig into whether this feels right or sounds right. Don't do anything you don't feel good about. But also don't be afraid or apprehensive to explore the benefits of a refinance. So on to some details. My mortgage is $107,330 and I'm choosing a 30-year loan. Now my previous loan had 23 years left and I went with a 30-year loan because it gives me more flexibility and I'm able to pay it like I want. There's no penalty for prepayment. So y'all already know me. I'm not trying to have this loan for 30 years. Coming up later in the video, I'm going to show you my updated tracker and the scenarios for paying this off a lot sooner. My previous interest rate was 4.25%. My new interest rate is 2.75%. Really excited about that. And I have the opportunity to call back in a few months to get another decrease if it's available. My previous mortgage payment was $845.77. That included my mortgage, principal and interest, and my escrow. My new payment is $691.03, but because my mortgage insurance has started over, my payment for the first 10 years or so will be $760.66. Again, that's until the mortgage insurance criteria is met. That's until 20% of the loan is paid off, or there's 20% of equity in the home, or the mortgage reaches 78% of the home's value, or the halfway point of the loan. So one reason it's suggested you save 20% of your loan, you can skate past this insurance for the first however many years it takes to pay it off. In this case, 10 to 11 years. Then you'll want to pay down your mortgage as soon as possible to get past that 20%. It's certainly going to help you to have that 20%. In my case, that's $69.63 that if I paid this according to that 30-year loan, I'm going to have attached and financed within that loan for the first 10 to 11 years. Do better than me. We also established a new escrow account. So I don't have a February payment. My first payment starts March 1st, and this is how I'm able to put $2,000 to my Roth this month. Now on to my updated mortgage tracker. Here is my loan amortization schedule. You already know how much I love this version of this tracker. In my November video, I talked about where I got this tracker, why I love it so much. I will leave that video linked in the description below. So if you're interested, you can pick one up for yourself. And I'm going to walk you through the updates that this refinance has made to my amortization schedule. First, I'm going to go back to my old schedule. And this is it here. Let's see, let me blow that up just a little bit. So before, this was my loan amount, my interest rate, how much time I had left. And you could see that the total interest was over $62,000. And now the loan amount, the interest rate, 30-year loan, and what the total interest is. So the refinance alone is going to save me $11,000 in interest, which was, that's already worthy of my time, the time it took to do the refinance. I'm just realizing there's one thing I forgot to share, and that is that on January 4th, a notary came to my home. I signed the paperwork. I gave her a check for the prorated payment in January, and that's what completed the refinance. So back to this, the savings, even though there's a longer term so far, is already over $11,000. So that's good. And let's see. So another thing to note before moving on to those early payoff scenarios, and that is how this compares to my original loan. So I purchased the home in September of 2010. And so you saw me do this in the other tracker, my previous tracker, that last video as well. So looking at this original scheduled payment month, I'm going to scroll down. And so we'll be able to see that 360 months into my previous loan, I would have paid that off. But even with my last mortgage loan, which included a loan modification, I would have been paying that loan off July 1st, 2044. That would have been an additional 46 months. And again, that's because of the loan modification. So with this refinance, in comparison to the original loan, instead of paying it off in 2040, this would be paid off 2051. And that would be an additional 125 months to my original loan. So I don't know. I don't want to keep pushing this loan further and further back. I kind of like to see how this relates to my original loan to make sure that even within the 30 years of that original loan that I get this paid off as best I can. Another thing I like about this tracker is it does help you create your scenarios. So if we were to look up here at the top, my loan amount stays the same, but what if my interest rate is lower? Now looking at this total interest over here, say it was 2.5%. You can see the difference here. The total is $45,000 in interest. Say the loan period is 25 years, $37,000, 20 years, $29,000, 15 years, $21,000 in interest. It definitely pays to look into this in depth to see if it makes more sense for you to get a 15-year loan or what have you. You normally can, save a ton of interest by going down in the loan period or the term of the loan. And so let's see another scenario, 2.25%. You can see just how low this can get, say maybe 2.15%. One more, 2%. So there you go. And you can see how that knocks out a lot of the payments as well. So just so you can see that, like I said, it's just so important for you to gather all the information that makes you feel comfortable with moving forward. I am going to put this back to what my current refinance is. So onto those scenarios that I set up. My total interest right now is $50,000 over the course of the loan. And so what I've done here was break this down to say, what if I paid this like a 25-year loan? Then this would be my scheduled monthly payment, which adds $57 to my monthly payment. That would be 300 payments. And my interest would be $41,207 over the course of the loan. And so what I'm going to do here is scroll up because I put another calculation out here to see or to show what is the interest savings over my current refinance, but then also my previous tracker that I showed you before. So the previous interest savings is now from $11,000 to $20,000. And even on this refinance, if I was to take this refinance of 30 years and actually pay it like a 25-year loan, I would save an additional $9,000. That's about $20,000. So as we go through these scenarios, let me see if I can make this even bigger so you can really see it. And I'm just going to walk through these pretty quickly. So that's 25-year loan, an extra $57 a month. That's not bad. That's really easy to do. Say if I wanted to pay this like a 20-year loan, this will be my principal and interest payment. That's 240 months. The total interest is $32,000. That's an extra $143 a month. That's not a lot either. So over the previous loan and the refinance, that's about $29,000 saved right there. If I were to pay this like a 15-year loan, it's an extra $291 a month to get this paid off in 15 years. The total interest instead of $50,000 is going to be about $23,000, $24,000, and the interest savings looking great. 10 years. Okay, so an extra $586 a month makes this 30-year loan a 10-year loan. Okay, and even that doesn't scare me, right? That's not, when you're debt free and you have some good processes and plans in place, I'm kind of thinking I could swing it. So that's only $15,000 in interest. That's really substantial. And of course, a 5-year loan. Now this is a little bananas, but it can work. An extra $1,479 a month makes this 30-year loan a 5-year loan. The interest is only $7,670. And look at that interest savings. So again, this really excites me. I haven't landed on exactly which plan I'm going to go with. As close to this $1,479 a month, I'm going to do it. I've already mapped it out. If I can make these extra payments, not only will it help me pay down that 20% faster, it will save me a lot of interest. And if I can pay this off 5 years from getting started later this year, wow. So this is the new schedule. I'm really happy with this. Thank you so much for your suggestions. See, I listened to you. I have plans for making headway this year with paying off this loan, and this helps even more. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Valentine's Day. I'll see you next time. Bye.